Hey guys, Law with Hollywood First Look, and we're here at the premiere for Xeno. Let's take a first look. The creature design is a really interesting amalgamation of things that I love, puppeteering and like the black shell. What was kind of the sensibility in crafting that and making him both threatening but like heartwarming at the same time?
You know, it was a very small needle to thread because we obviously, we wanted it scary-esque, but we did want that sort of big dog lovability to it as well. So, I mean, we went through, I think I have 40 different pieces of concept art. I mean, he looked like everything from a prawn to a scaly alligator to, he looked like everything. And then finally, we brought in the Henson team and they just nailed it. I think it was like 4 iterations and I was like, that's it. It has eyes, so that lets you connect to it, but it has the ferocity of the mouth and the back that kind of give you that classic sci-fi monster thing.
Matt was going to collaborate with the Jim Henson Company. That's a company I grew up with. And to see that company collaborate with him and bring this physical creature to life was really exciting to me. We've gotten so oversaturated with visual effects with creatures that aren't there. So the physicality is what excited me, and to be brought in and to wear one of those seats was, dream come true for me.
I'm a big animal lover. I grew up rescuing cats left and right. So I don't find it hard to find love in what people deem the unlovable. I just kind of looked at Croak as my rescue alien, It wasn't hard, and the life that Garrett brought to the suit was so integral to my performance, and it really, it's all him. He did so much in order for us to have this connection, and it was just, I'm just excited for people to see it. Yeah.
It's so funny because one of the questions I wanted to ask is if you had to make an adoption listing for Croak, this is a rescue, it's a dodo video now. What would be your pitch to get adoptees?
Oh, I would say he's very loyal, very protective, may eat the entire contents of your fridge, but will love you to bits.
Get the script. That's the first thing that stood out to me was the humanness of it. I think a story that's about a story should be the backdrop. So if it's an alien story, that should sort of be the backdrop. And I found that it was a family story, and it was a story about outcasts. People who are sitting at cafeteria tables across the globe right now and not feeling like they belong. And so that kind of leapt off the page, and that's why I wanted to be a part of it. It's a time that we need to really be way more inclusive than as hateful as we've become. So I'm hopeful that this movie becomes one where people feel like their cool can be whatever their cool is.
I worked for a long time on a superhero show called Stargirl on DC, and I only did visual effects. And it was, again, the tennis ball. And I was actually got to set every day on Xeno, and I actually saw a real alien. So it was like there was another cast member there, So it was like I was actually playing off of a real person. And, the Jim Henson Company did such an amazing job. Like, I didn't even know that we were gonna have a real alien going into it. But the first day I got there, I was like, it made the whole process much easier for Lulu and myself and everyone that interacted with the alien.
It is kind of shocking, and I think also seamless too. They did a lot of tireless work to make that the practical and the CGI kind of meld into one.
Have you ever considered doing some creature acting yourself like Garrett?
No. What? Garrett is that guy. In that suit, this like inches of foam rubber and whatever else it was in New Mexico. It's like I don't know if it was whatever it was. It was hot. Not for me, but it's great watching him on the practice on these hand and foot stilts and everything. He's just working tirelessly. It was amazing.
When you go to film school, they don't teach you creature suits. There's not a lot of people are doing it anymore. So the team of puppeteers they gave me and the suit wranglers that we had to kind of do a week-long character study of this thing and learn how to photograph it, learn how to block it, learn what angles did it look correct, which angles did it not look correct. And it had a very steep learning curve, but by the end of it, we were driving that car around the track and just tight loops.
The sound mixing and the sound design was one of my favorite parts of this whole experience. Our team at Universal crushed it. And just going in there every day and watching them lay in the score and bring Croak to life was really exciting. But honestly, it came from the brainchild of Matt himself, and he has a young son, Ford, who I'm sure they've all talked about was inspiration for Croak and his name. He named Croak. And so they kind of spitballed together on what would Croak sound like, and it was just such a team, collaborative effort. And then you've seen the movie. He has a very distinct sound. It's like equal parts scary and endearing, and yeah, it's special.
We did a really big search, and when we came to Lulu, I mean, we were like, this is perfect. And then I remember Matt met her for the first time, and she had banjo up on the wall, and she had Jim Henson creature stuff. Like, there's a lot of this that she really loves, and right away we're like, this is a fit. And then there's all the acting talent. So pretty much when we found Lulu, we were like, this is it. And she delivered. She worked crazy hours, and she's really wonderful in the film.
Even from my director session with him, his confidence made me so confident, Looking at even like the first mock-ups of Croak, just his passion and his enthusiasm for this film, and for us as actors, was just brought a lot of confidence to me. He's a great guy, a great filmmaker. I'm so excited that he gets to do this, and he gets to be the front man of this incredible alien film.
I read the script, and the first thing I thought was Spielberg. It was like, Spielberg, that's like exactly what I was in imagining, I guess. And then I saw all of the family unit stuff, the drama stuff, and I was like, this is great. Got on the phone with the director, Matt, and he talked to me, and that was it. I was like, once I talked to him and I saw how passionate he was about it, I was like, that was it.
There's always that reality of the actor needing to bring a bag of tricks. Hopefully the director is pretty decisive and can tell you what to take out or what to leave in. And so I did bring some tricks, the car included. And so Matt loved it as much as you did. And so we kind of we built this guy together. From the Letterman jacket to the boots, we kind of built him together. Obviously the costume designer, our hair and makeup team, the freaking crew was second to none. We had a ball. And I wasn't there long enough. I wanted to spend more time in New Mexico, which is where we shot. Speaking of alienation, right? There's some mysterious things going on in New Mexico. And so it was a perfect backdrop, literally, for us to shoot this film. But Matty Oates, man, I want to work with him 20 times again.
I think comparison is E.T., of course, and Matt and I and our whole sort of generation were raised on those sort of Amblin films and Close Encounters as well. And but I think the vibe of that, the impetus of that, perhaps. I mean, he wrote it, so he could tell you. But where it came from, that idea of a sort of a family-friendly, to an extent, kind of interaction with an alien and a young person was a really. It seemed like a really fertile place to build a story, and it reminded me of those times, and I was excited to be a part of something like that.
We went to film school together, and he has dozens of scripts, but when he sent me this one and was like, I want to make this one, I read it right away, and I got it right away. I mean, it's inspired by so many of the movies from your youth, from my youth, and you can see it in the film. It's an entertaining piece, it moves very quickly, and I was like, what do we have to do to make it? Let's go.
I think this movie is for anyone who believes in hope. This movie is sincere. That was Matt's inception point for this film, was to make a movie that was sincere. The relationship between this girl and her mother, this girl and her alien pet, this girl and her friend is sincere. And we want you to walk away with a sense of belonging, and a world where otherness shouldn't marginalize you. It should bring people closer together.